Inertia is a powerful thing. We are creatures of habit. Over the course of our lives, we develop habits, both good and bad, and those habits essentially dictate what we do every day. In order to overcome inertia, you need to destroy bad habits that are standing in your way and replace them with good habits that are going to help you reach your goal. It really doesn't matter what your goal is, whether it's weight loss, starting a business, improving your finances, or any other worthwhile goal. Each of these things will require you to adopt a new set of behaviors. But breaking ingrained habits is really hard to do, and creating new habits is just as hard. So how do you do it? I am going to discuss 9 of the best strategies that I have used to overcome inertia successfully time and time again. I want to start by saying I'm no behavioral scientist or anything like that. But I work full-time as an executive in the financial services industry and have simultaneously built up some serious side hustles over the years, including a real estate investing business and multiple online businesses that generate thousands of dollars per month. Due to the exhausting nature of my day job, it would have been easy to fall into a pattern where I just unplug and relax whenever I get a free moment. But I was able to beat that impulse day in and day out. I don't have any superhuman willpower or anything like that. All I did was put in place some simple strategies that worked to get me off the couch and doing the things that got me closer to my goals. That's what I'm going to share, so let's get into it. Number 1, have a clear goal and come up with a plan. The first step in breaking out of inertia is identifying your ideal end state and working backwards from that goal to come up with a practical plan for achieving it. For example, if you want to start a business, there are steps you need to follow. You will need to come up with a simple business plan that provides a roadmap of how your business will make money and operate. You will also need to establish your business entity, figure out a name and logo, create an online presence, and so on. There is a lot involved, but the first step is to always sit down and come up with a plan. If you want to get in shape, you need to figure out what in shape means for you and find the best strategies for achieving that goal. Some strategies may emphasize weight loss, while others may emphasize strength building, cardio fitness, or proper diet, to name a few. Pick the one that aligns with your goal and plan out how you are going to implement it. I have found that whenever I want to try to improve something in my life, coming up with a tangible plan to get there is essential. It makes it real. It also makes it easier to get started. A vague sense of I should do this is never going to get you unstuck. You need to sharpen your focus. Instead of thinking I should do this, think I must do this, and here's how I'm going to do it. If you are enjoying this video, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons. It helps a ton and I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Number 2, get organized and come up with a routine. Once you have settled on a plan, start fleshing it out. What are the things you need to do each day? Map them out and then set aside some time to do them. Try out different times and see what works best for you. It's okay to make adjustments. In fact, you should always be trying to improve your routine. In my case, I like working on my goals early in the morning before I start work. That way, I know I can get my time in before any of the day's other priorities and unexpected crises happen. Number 3, start small and build up. When you are trying to form a new habit, sometimes it is easier to start with a micro habit. As the name implies, a micro habit is a small act or habit that you can easily start doing. Here's an example. Let's say you want to start reading more. A micro habit would be to read just 1 page before you sleep each night. It's a very attainable goal because reading a page may take just a minute, but it's something you can build upon. Before you know it, you will have an established routine and will be reading much more than 1 page every night. This can be used for exercise, writing, or any other endeavor that requires daily dedication. It's perhaps one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal for building new habits, so use it. Just remember, studies show that it can take on average around 66 days to form a new habit, so keep at it. In just a couple of short months, you can develop a great habit that can help you get closer to your goals. Number 4, strike while the iron is hot. Motivation is not unlimited. You've probably noticed that your level of motivation ebbs and flows based on your mood, energy level, who you're with, and a host of other factors. Sometimes you will be extremely motivated to do something. It could be after seeing a motivational video or listening to an inspiring speech. Whatever the reason, you should not waste it when it's there. Recognize when you feel those rushes of motivation and get to work on the things that you need to tackle. And try to focus on the harder stuff first. You don't want to waste that motivation on easy tasks. If you can make really awesome progress during these surges, you won't feel as guilty when you need to slack a little because your motivational tank is nearly empty. And when you are feeling low on motivation, remember how you experienced those prior surges of motivation and try to replicate it. Read some inspirational quotes, hang out with like-minded people who share your goals, and reread articles or rewatch videos that gave you a jolt in the past. Number 5. Reward yourself when you hit milestones. This is important to sustain motivation once you have established a good routine. I use this all the time. In my real estate investing business, I would go out to a nice steak dinner to celebrate each time I bought a new property. It was a small thing, but it kept me going. On an even more micro level, I reward myself after I finish each blog post by taking an hour to watch my favorite Netflix show and eating my favorite snack. This simple act motivates me to really give it my all when I am writing, so that I can feel I earned my little reward. Number 6. Make it easy on your future self. Sometimes I am faced with a task that is hard and complex. I want to avoid it at all costs because I dread getting started. But there is a way to overcome it. The key is to make it as easy as possible to start that task. Maybe it is printing out and collecting all of the materials and information you will need to do the task. Maybe it is writing out the various steps you need to do to accomplish the task. This one's huge for me. I love roadmaps and checklists. Basically do all of the prep work and have it easily accessible, so that when you finally sit down to do the hard task, all you need to focus on is the task itself. It's weird, but doing the pre-work and having it sit in front of me all neat and organized actually makes me want to dig in. In fact, even for more routine tasks, I think it's a great idea to get the prep work done first. For example, when I finish each blog post, I am still in work mode, so I go ahead and dig up the next topic I want to write about and create a draft with the title and a bare-bones outline. When it's time to write again, it's amazing how much easier it is to start when you know this small amount of pre-work has already been done and all you need to do is fill it in a bit. Number 7. Tell people about your goals. When I committed to quitting smoking, which was one of the toughest things I ever did, I told everyone. I did this deliberately because I wanted everyone to hold me accountable. It's a simple trick, but one that can be really effective. People don't want to be viewed as failures, and so they will try hard to follow through on their publicly stated goals. It's easy to quit quietly in private. It's much harder to do when everyone knows. Number 8. Get a solid support network. Everyone is going to feel discouraged at some point along their journey. Maybe you are not making as much progress as you hoped. Maybe a life event throws you for a loop. Regardless of the reason, you will want a solid network of people you can turn to for motivation and support. How do you find this network? Obviously, friends and family can be a good option if they are reliable and trustworthy. But you can also find support by joining organizations or groups that cater to the area you are working on. These days you can go to online forums and Facebook groups and meet many like-minded people. Having this network is important. There's a reason why people who are trying to break awful addictions don't do so in isolation. Human contact and support is an incredibly powerful thing. Number 9. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I am not a perfectionist, but I know many people who are. There are pros and cons to being a perfectionist, but when it comes to boldly reaching goals, you want to suppress any perfectionist tendencies you may have. This applies to every phase of the process. Don't wait to start on your goal just because your plan is not perfectly laid out. Get a decent and well-reasoned plan in place and then just start. Don't be plagued by analysis paralysis. And once you have started, don't give up because you fail to meet all of your expectations. Any difficult and worthwhile goal is going to present obstacles and setbacks. You will make mistakes along the way. You will fail along the way. You don't lose when these things happen. You only lose when you give up. So don't let the fact that you did not execute your plan perfectly stop you. Make adjustments and keep going. As the saying goes, if you aim for the moon and miss, you might still hit a star. So there you have it, 9 ways to overcome inertia and position yourself for success. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already done so. It helps a lot and I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.